Welcome to 3 Pages In. My name's Eden.
I'm Chloe.
And I'm Macy. And we're very excited for you to join us for this episode.
Yes, it took everything in me. I mean, I say this every time, but to not go, yay!
Yeah, I know. But this is a good one. And we say that every time because everyone's a good one, right?
Yeah.
But I'm excited. This one's a book club book.
Our second book club episode.
Woo. I was about to say our October pick was a spooky one.
That was just about to say that too. A little spooky book for a little spooky season.
Yeah.
Although I am wearing my Christmas sweater currently, even though we're recording this well before Halloween even, but this comes out after Halloween, and so Christmas season is upon us.
I had my ghost earrings in, and then I was like, let's just take those out. I was like really confused on the vibe.
For this hour or two that we're recording, we are going to be in the Christmas mode.
Ooh, I know it's funny,
but actually not because we're talking about a spooky book. Never mind.
But
literally
like
forget
in our
that.
hearts, maybe.
In our heart.
It's funny. One of my students today was like, "And after Halloween, I'm gonna put up all my Christmas decorations." And the other one was like, "What are you talking about? There's Thanksgiving." I'm like, "No, girl, I'm with you." I'm like, Christmas.
Well, they kind of blend in my head. Like, I think it's easy to have a Christmas tree, but like festive pumpkins, you know?
Totally.
I don't know.
I totally
agree.
agree.
And then a turkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe a ham.
Yeah, I prefer ham actually.
Yeah, true.
Really?
Yeah.
No, turkey all the way.
I like both.
I mean, I like
stuffing.
both too.
Okay.
But
We'll be talking about November in a little bit when we announce our November book club book.
which I am so freaking excited for. We're going to announce that at the end.
Yeah, I think we should.
So stay tuned.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited.
You can guess
for that.
what you think it is now.
Yeah.
If you want a hint, we have talked about this book on the podcast.
And none of us have read it.
We have?
Yes.
I do not remember.
Yay.
Super fun.
What is new with y'all?
Jake may or may not have broken his ankle last night. No. So we dealt with that all last night. We'll find out tomorrow.
Boo.
Hopefully it's not broken. Hopefully it's just a sprain. Either way, he's still going to be on crutches or in a boot for
a little bit.
At least a month or two.
That sucks.
I know.
That really sucks.
I feel bad for him.
Poor Jake.
I know. He's in the other room right now just doing his homework, plugging along. Little cripple. It's okay. Love him. So next week we will update and see where his ankle's at.
Oh. Hopefully his foot is still attached to his body.
It literally looks
they
like
cut it off.
Looks like there's a golf ball or like a tennis ball.
Ew.
It's so swollen.
Ew. I don't want to see it.
Okay. Well, then I won't text you pictures.
We'll
I texted Chloe
pictures
last
to
night.
the video. I'm joking. We're not going to do that.
Oh gosh, that would freak me out.
But yeah, that's
new.
Yeah.
on that medical
news.
vein, I'm getting an epidural tomorrow. Woo!
Yay.
I should probably
Thank
preface not for having a child.
Yeah, no.
We think.
Can't you tell?
Oh.
Jeez. No, yeah, they just for the pinched nerves in my back and spine, neck. I'm really excited because it was supposed to be last week.
Hopefully it helps.
Yeah.
Let us know how it goes.
It better because I'm taking an absurd amount of pain medication right now. I'm in my Alice era.
Bye. That's actually funny.
That's hilarious.
I was like,
That's hilarious.
What I'm talking about. Anyways,
if you read the book, you'll know.
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Shout out to Nick, my husband, for being the wife and the husband for the past month. Great.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything new. Like,
do we want to talk about what we're
doing
reading?
Work in school and I'm not doing school. I lied. I'm not in school.
Yeah.
I teach kids in a school.
Yeah.
Anyways, and what am I currently reading? I'm currently reading The X-Hex.
Same.
Actually listening to finish off the Halloween spooky season, which, like, I mean, I knew what I signed up for, okay? I knew it.
Eden did prepare us last week a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and it's not... People recommend it as a Halloween romance.
And I would do the same.
We're not recommending it as a very good romance read.
No.
Yeah.
But so far, like, it's cute. It's fun.
Is it not like way more like spicy? Isn't even the right word though. It was just like
horny.
Like I literally felt like I was reading like the actual writing and like the storyline feels like something I would have loved when I was 13. But then it's throwing in tons of F words and like just so vulgar about like sex and stuff. And like
not a
kind of
tasteful
an
way.
obnoxious way, don't you feel like?
It like is a little jarring. I do find myself
jarring is a good
noticing
word.
it.
Yeah, because I was like, I was telling my cousin yesterday, I was like, I actually don't notice F words at all. Like, I don't notice language in books. It doesn't bother me, but it does in this one just because it feels so out of place. I was
Out of
like,
place.
actually, you've noticed it in this book, but
That's so funny.
it is still recommend. I would still recommend it so far for as a Halloween romance.
I'm not like super far into it, but it's cute.
Yeah, I'm probably like 40% of the way in. But yeah,
Love it.
that's what I'm currently reading. I'm also currently reading Gone Girl, which I did say a few episodes ago that I would be reading it this fall. So I'm really happy that
so
I'm
proud of
living
you.
up to it.
I
Thank
know,
you.
At the end of fall, let's go back and touch on if we did
Do
read
an
our fall
accountability
books
section.
that we set out to read.
Well,
I think
shoot.
we only all said one.
Yeah.
Technically inside a series, but that doesn't count. She meant by the end of the year for that. So
Yeah,
whatever.
that's true. That's true. And
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's because the book, like the edition I'm reading out of, was a old edition from Goodwill, but the writing feels older to me, and I'm really liking it, but it's not like, I don't know, captivating me as much as I thought it would.
Okay.
But that's kind of where I'm at.
Cool.
What
I'm
about
just in
you?
the middle of the tandem read still, Throne of Glass, and then I read this one obviously, and then, yeah, that's it for the last week.
Love it.
Wait, I think was reappearance of Rachel Price. Did I read that for?
Oh, you read that?
Yeah.
Wait, I don't think I knew
think-
that. Did she talk about this?
I don't remember
Let
if
me-
we talked about it on the podcast. Obviously, she talked to me
Same.
about it.
Wait.
I don't think I knew you even read it. I would have remembered this because I really want to read
Let me
it.
see when I finished it.
Okay, I'm just gonna start again as if we're talking, but
Oh, yeah, I would have finished it before last week.
We
That's
may
it.
have touched on it. Actually,
Oh no, because
didn't talk about our outfits. We were in
That's
costume.
Right. Yep,
Our
we
outfits.
were because it was the Halloween
so
episode.
confused.
Oh yeah, oh
we
my
didn't
gosh,
talk
we didn't
about
even talk
our
about
recent reads
how
last
No.
episode.
last
know
week
you were
was
reading
Halloween.
this.
Well, I listened to it in a day and a half.
on
so,
what, Libby?
Yeah, I put the hold in for the audiobook on Libby like when Chloe first told us about it like months ago, and then she ended up getting me the book for my birthday.
Aw.
But while
now
I'm
she has a
reading
trophy.
I know. While I'm reading Throne of Glass, though, I'm only doing like audiobooks. Like those are the only books I'm reading. Anyway, so I got the audiobook. I was like, yeah, why not? So
Yeah, I was so excited. I
good.
thought it was on Hoopla, and then I started listening. It was in German.
I know Hoopla does that sometimes, but
Freaking rude.
it was a really, really good book. Super fun, Halloweeny.
I have about 3 weeks left until I have it on Libby.
Perfect.
So that's good.
Yay.
Great team.
Hee hee.
Awesome.
Really fun. I like
Okay.
hearing your updates.
Yeah.
Okay, should we talk about the book?
Yes.
Yes, you guys. I'm actually so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's start with our 3 pages in first impressions and
Okay.
kind of where we stand on that now.
That's been one
post-read.
of my favorite things. Is literally right before we started filming and recording this, we listened to our predictions, and it's so funny to be like we were way
I know.
off, or like
it's not like
I
heavyweights at all.
guess. Yeah,
There's
feel
no
like we
fat
were-
camp
I
vibes.
know.
No, I'm sorry we talked about that. I forgot we did that.
You're
Oh,
really surprised.
It was me. I did it.
Wait, do we want to give a little premise of the book in case someone
Yeah.
hasn't read it and doesn't want to?
Yeah,
my sister
Just wants to listen to it. Basically what happens is there's this camp it's New York, right? Yeah, in New York in the 70s, and it's for
And
like
around us.
teenagers. And it's run by this family called the
Van
Lars. And their daughter, who is she's a teenager and she's at the camp, goes missing. And then, which is crazy because 15 years earlier their son went missing and was never found.
Ooh, what's
and
going
so-
on?
Anyways, that's the premise, and as it goes on we'll talk more about all the details and stuff, but who wants to go first on their 3 pages in predictions?
I can because I was dead wrong. There was literally one thing that I predicted, and that I thought something was off about Louise, and I thought she had something to do with everything going on. Was my specific words, but I thought she was the murderer. She was not.
She might be one of the only people who really
Just
didn't have
Not
anything
involved.
to do.
Which Eden guessed.
yeah,
Yeah,
Eden was right.
that was like the only thing that I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, so was wrong there.
Mhm.
What about you guys?
I guessed. I mean, this isn't. Well, we talked about being multiple
Yeah.
point of views.
Yeah.
Which check. Well, you're right on that.
Yes.
Really right on that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Holy
gosh.
crap.
Like probably the most amount of POVs and like timelines that I've ever read in a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
I kind of did like the point of views because they were like a main three. I would probably say I'd probably say Tracy, Louise, and Judy were like the ones we got the most.
For sure.
And then I liked that when it would be talking about the story of someone else, it would switch to their point of view. Like Carl, we only got like one or two of his, but I liked that we got his story from his perspective, but it didn't feel like it was like too crazy in my opinion. But anyways, so that was right. And then I talked about, I thought maybe the family was going to be involved in what was going on, which that's right and wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Right for Bear,
yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
Which Bear
Obviously.
is their son who went missing. Like 15 years prior.
Well, and if you're still listening, I hope, just spoiler warning from now on.
Yeah.
Obviously. And then, but Barbara, the family wasn't really involved. Technically, TJ was involved, but she's not really family either.
No.
But yeah.
I didn't really have very many predictions. I kind of just, whatever you guys said in your predictions, I was like, yeah, or like, no. I didn't really have any of my own predictions, but yeah. We talked a lot about just like Friday the 13th or like summer camp vibes, and it like kind of did. One thing that I will, so just a little preface, I'll probably talk about this several times throughout the episode, but I used to work at a summer camp, and like there's a family who lives there because they are like the main directors and like kind of run everything, but their house is like just off to the side of the camp, and it literally just like exactly, I know, literally exactly how it's like set up in the book, and I just kept being like
Did you
honestly
just keep
kept picturing
imagining it?
yeah, I
That's
kept
funny.
picturing it and being like, oh my gosh, like it literally is. Anyways, so that was super fun, but yeah, I think we were all kind of way off in a little sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
3 pages, like
It doesn't give
nothing. What this 500-page
Much.
book. So
Yeah, it was almost 500 pages.
really long. What
was
what
long.
were your guys' ratings?
I think I'm going to give it a 3.75. I think is what I gave it, 3.75.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I liked it. It was good. I liked the setting was really fun.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of the characters. I think part of the reason I really did enjoy it, but that I didn't give it as high is the twist was good. It wasn't great in my opinion.
Agreed.
Ooh.
That's why I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads, but like 3.5 in my head.
And I thought the writing was good. Like the
Yeah.
way that she developed the plot was really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an outlier here. I will probably give it like a 4.5.
Oh wow.
I really, really enjoyed it, and I think part of it, and I'm sure we'll talk about this throughout the episode, but I think part of it was because I listened to it and I didn't start it until like 4 days ago, 3 days ago. Anyways, it was this week. Like I listened to more than half of it starting like yesterday morning. So it didn't feel as like slow pace. It like kind of was like, because I like listened to it so fast. But I really, really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the twist because it wasn't too far-fetched that it was like, what? But like enough where like it surprised me a little bit. And also Chloe and I were talking about this a little bit earlier before Macy got here, but like I like genuinely was scared
Oh yeah.
while listening, and I feel like I haven't felt that way in a long time from a book. And so
Yeah. I was I finished it in like at night, and I was just reading in my
gosh.
bed, and literally I like closed my Kindle. I was like,
Yeah.
am I supposed to fall asleep right now? I literally,
Yeah.
my
Oh,
husband was like
gosh.
turning a little bit, and I was like, Coleman. I was like, Coleman. He was like, I was like, I'm scared. He's like, you're fine. I'm like, no.
oh
Yeah.
you guys,
What?
this reminds me.
I'm scared.
Okay, so also last night, same thing, I was listening to it, and again, this is a spoiler warning, but I was listening to the part, I had to stop, it was like 3 a.m, and because I was trying to finish it in time for today, and I got to the part where she was interviewing Sluter.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, that was freaky.
Well, and Jake was, my husband was just like sitting next to me, just like totally dead asleep, and since he just hurt his ankle, I'm like, if someone comes in here, he can't do anything. Like, we're screwed.
gosh.
And so I had to stop.
He
Like,
could be like Sluter and walk on his hands.
oh my gosh.
Stop.
No, see, that's so scary. So I had to stop listening to it and like go on TikToks for like a good 20 or 30 minutes before I fell asleep because I was so scared. But the night before, okay, so every night Jake and I either like read books or are listening to books and like playing games on our phones. And so I was doing that. I was listening and I had my headphones on, which are noise canceling. And it was a scary part. It was the first point of view from Sluter. And it's creepy. It's creepy vibes.
Like
where
him in
he's,
the
like,
houses.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm like doing it, and then I have like an iPad or on our iPad I was doing a puzzle, and that's what I do while I listen to books. And you guys, Jake, I didn't see him out of the corner of my eye. I didn't see him, but he just was leaning over and was like, "Hi, like how was your book?"
That was
And I screamed.
funny.
I literally screamed.
so
I like threw our
funny.
iPad, and he was like, "I'm sorry."
That's
He's like, "I was
so
just
funny.
seeing how you're doing." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like
that is
was
terrifying.
like so terrified. I was like,
Eden's like,
"Don't
5
touch
stars."
me." No, literally, I was like terrified like 2 nights in a row. Anyways, so
that's funny.
that was
But
my
that's-
experience while listening to it.
That's a good example of showing you like how suspenseful and like into it you felt. I do have to say too, I read the first half and then I listened to the second half, which normally I don't like listening more, but I did in this case. But at the same time, for both reading and listening, I was confused because there wasn't a pattern of like what POV it was switching to.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was really hard. And it was honestly easier reading it that way because I like,
Yeah.
it was like,
see it.
yeah, I could like read what it was switching to. And then when I was like listening, sometimes I'd like miss it or I'd be like,
wait, who is
wait,
this?
yeah, like day 4,
Or,
like
or
who?
what year is it?
Yes.
Yes,
too?
well,
Exactly.
that also really confused me because I listened to the whole thing. That really confused me at first until I realized every time it switched POV, it said their name and the year, and even like winter or whatever, summer or like day
Oh,
one or
gotcha.
whatever. So anytime I would be like, wait, who's talking? I would just like tap my phone and it would turn on and be like, okay, that person's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, it is confusing for sure.
That was like probably why I gave it like lower. And I do think if I kept reading the rest of it, it would have felt a lot slower to me. So I am glad that I listened to the last half. But I do have questions on a couple plot points. So, first, I thought, Delphine, I thought that was Peter's sister.
No,
Nope,
it's
it's
Alice's.
sister.
That makes so much more sense.
Why they were hooking up?
Yes. So then when there was the affair, I was like, that is a plot twist. I was so confused.
That's so
I was
funny.
like, dang.
Like, dang, Liz. You're
Yeah.
really getting freaky.
Well, because they were talking about money, like when she would talk to
Yeah.
Alice, they're talking about money. For some reason, that's what made it seem like she was Peter's sister.
That's funny.
That's really
anyway.
really funny.
So I just had to confirm that
Yeah,
that
no.
was
not
okay.
incestual. Yeah,
Yes.
you're good.
Okay, cool. Alice's sister. I have a couple other questions, unless you guys want to touch more on that point. So did Louise and TJ have a thing? Like, I know
And
they like
Louise's mind, she
kinda-
kind of had a little crush, but TJ was like, "Nah, dude."
like TJ for sure. Like,
Yeah,
she
yes.
didn't
yeah,
miss
yeah,
it anywhere
yeah.
else in the book where she
No.
was like,
I
I'm
think
down.
yeah.
Because TJ is like, "I'm your employer."
Yeah.
And then in the next paragraph, it's like her laying on bed, like laying in the couch or whatever,
Yeah.
Louise, and being like, "That was so embarrassing."
Yeah.
Like, why did I-"
True.
No, in my head, I see it as like they just have a really close friendship.
Yeah.
But Louise has feelings for her.
She did.
But then
Not
again,
anymore.
but then
Yeah.
like the next point of view, she's like, "I don't have feelings for her
Yeah.
anymore." She's like, "I don't like that was
Weird.
whatever."
So that also brings me to what also was confusing for me. Even though they said the ages of everyone, I still like TJ as the director. Obviously, it points out that she was young for being a director, but I still imagine her as 35. So then when that happened with Louise,
Yeah,
and
she's
then-
not that old,
Yeah.
which is weird.
yes, I was like, wait, this is so weird because then also aren't a lot of the like camp kids like 12 and 13 years old? So then in my head, Louise, even though she was a counselor, I also thought she was young at times. She's so I was getting so
23.
mixed
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, at first when Louise was like, oh, like you could tell that she thought TJ was cute or whatever, I was like, what what the freak? She's like 15 years older than her. And then I was like,
it's
she's
like
only
just a
like 6 or
couple.
7,
Yeah.
maybe, if that.
I had to
No,
keep
I think it was
thinking
like
about
3,
because
yeah.
she was 12 and Bear was 8. And that was in
Yes.
61.
Yes.
That's why I
Oh,
kept. So
I needed to
So in
refer to
75,
that.
she was only 14 years older. So she was what, 26?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
even
so she's
closer
only
than age.
3,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Anyways, that's what
did
was confusing
I
me.
had to like think about it though, and I think it's probably because like we're not expecting this 26-year-old to be like in charge of the whole camp.
Right. Well, that's why I was like, my unconscious, subconscious biases or whatever of like thinking that someone in power is older or a man, which also let's talk on the theme of sexism, misogyny, all of that, which I did really enjoy that part of the book.
Yeah, like Judy.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like, dude, this I was like, Liz Moore is so like out of touch, and then I was like, oh no, it's in the 70s and the 80s. That's why these characters are like,
happen.
yeah. I'm like, what is she
It
talking
did.
about? Oh, and then I was
Yeah.
like, okay, it makes more sense.
Yeah. Like the dad being like, you can't stay at a hotel.
Yeah.
To like Judy or whatever. I was like, okay, pack it up.
Yeah,
Like,
I
let's go.
forgot about that. That's funny.
No, I will say one of my favorite things about the book was the switching of timelines and POVs. I thought, even though at points it was confusing, I think she did it really, really well in the sense of the storytelling.
Yeah.
Like I swear, like every time I was like, oh, like I wonder why they're doing that or I wonder why they're thinking that, it would go back in their point of view and be like, provide the necessary context to,
Right.
you know, what we are needing to understand the situation fully. And yeah, I really liked all the different like family aspects and the like counselor aspects or like point of views, and I don't know.
I liked the camp setting a lot. It was
Oh,
fun.
it was so fun.
Made me want to go to a summer camp.
Oh,
Not that one.
I was to say, made me the last summer. Well, maybe not the last, but like when I went to girls' camp when I was 12, the one I went to specifically was when I was still living in Utah. You guys, they still like. I feel like they should not be allowed, but they told all the like counselors told us like a really, really scary story. No. But here's the twist. They always tell scary stories. Then they took us out in the woods and had actors about
my gosh.
the no-legged guy, the creepy girl named Annie with the black hair. They literally had actors.
Oh my gosh.
Sent us in the woods, and a girl comes up to you from the woods, like with her hair over her face. A guy with no legs comes
That
at
is
you.
freaking
Like I
wild.
was like, what in the world? So that's what I kept thinking of. I was so scared, and so I kept thinking of Sluter
Yeah.
as the guy with no legs that I actually have a real traumatic experience about. So so it really real. Did not want to go back to a camp for
That's
me.
funny.
Also,
Pass.
sorry, along with scary ghost stories in the woods, I really liked how Scary Mary
I was just about to say.
yeah.
was part of like the story. You
Yeah,
know, it was
I
just this
did
like
like
thing that all the kids were like scared of or whatever, and sometimes they would see her and wait, is she the
Carl's
one?
wife,
I know,
Marianne.
no, yeah.
Oh,
Is she the one who pointed?
okay. That
Did we ever get
still have a
results?
question about that actually.
Yeah, I just
Wait,
realized.
what?
So-
Tracy-
So Tracy goes looking for Barbara in the woods and gets lost, and someone shows her the way, but she is supposed to be wearing her glasses but doesn't, so she can't really see who they are.
In my head, it was Sluter.
That's
That's
in
what
my
it
head
seemed.
too.
I think it is.
But they said they have gray hair, right? And she didn't know if it was a man or a woman.
She said
Oh.
she maybe thought it was a man, but like
Yes.
wasn't sure.
Yes.
But like Scary Mary has gray hair.
Right. So I don't.
oh.
But also it did talk about Sluter, how he had a memory of like finding and pointing his way to
Yeah.
his like childhood home or whatever,
Yeah.
which was like
Yeah.
self-reliance or whatever. Oh my gosh, so many different aspects that just tied in. I thought it was so cool.
That is
Yeah,
cool.
I didn't. That was one thing I
It's a
wasn't
good
100%
question.
sure if we got like a distinct answer on who that was.
I don't remember one. So
I don't either.
I don't
Maybe
either.
that's my fault.
I was gonna say,
It's in there. Please let us know.
But
and
if all three of us can't
Yeah,
remember,
no, I
then
feel
I'm
like-
thinking maybe maybe that's left
one
to the
would hope.
imagination. Yeah, no, honestly, if someone's like, "Bruh, it totally was
Everybody
Slater or
said
whatever," they
it.
said it. It's like, ooh.
Okay, also literally terrifying. Like not having your glasses and
I know.
being
Oh.
alone in the woods. That scares me.
Gonna be completely honest, I thought something was gonna happen to her.
the Tracy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Poor
like,
Tracy, who was just wants to fit in and have
I know,
friends.
and she's like so shy and cute. I liked her character.
I did too.
I liked learning from Barbara from her point of view.
yes,
Instead of, like,
she
Barbara's
like
point of view.
idolized her a little
Yeah.
bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then
I
kissed her
agree.
mans. Oh, Barbara.
Wait,
that was
Barbara
very
kissed
not-
Tracy's man's.
Like the guy she had a
The-
crush on
Lowell?
that plays the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Can we talk about that? I'm a little bit confused on the relationship side of it with the campers. Okay, so
Okay.
you know how they recovered or uncovered Barbara's mural in her bedroom, and then they found her initials and
John Paul McClellan.
John Paul's initials. So they were a thing, right? That's what
was
it was
fake.
showing.
That was fake.
Why?
Because
They
they,
were framing
pinning
him
for Barbara's
for Barbara's
disappearance.
disappearance.
That was her
who
and
wrote that?
She did. Her and TJ. That was their plan to
Was
get
to
Barbara
frame-
to
That's
disappear.
what I missed about the plot twist.
They were
Yeah.
framing John Paul because his family is just messed up.
Well,
and
and
he beat up Louise.
He beat up Louise, and so TJ. That's another side note that I really liked
Yeah.
about this is all the bad people somehow in
Got
some
some
way
justice.
got some
They're
justice.
comeuppance.
Yes,
Is that what people
and
say?
all of the innocent people like kind of had a happy ending
Yeah,
in a way,
yes,
like
yeah.
and in a way that was very satisfying. Like
That
it
is-
wasn't necessarily
I
like
agree.
you go to jail, but like ooh, this person had to deal with this, and like
That's
this,
true.
you know, like I really enjoyed that.
That is
Yeah.
one thing I wrote down talking about was like kind of like the second chance / redemption, like what you're talking about, like the Stoddard family, Carl's family
Oh
got
my
closure.
gosh,
Like
yes.
his
True.
name was cleared.
True.
TJ and Vic got to tell their truth about what happened to Bear and like get that off their chest
so
or whatever.
sad.
Also,
Louise
so
and
sad.
Barbara like got out of their like abusive like situations. Like
Yeah.
it was nice. And then the bad people got in trouble.
That's a really good point. And that's why I was a little bit confused at the very end and like the plot twist of like Barbara and TJ planning this was I missed that they did the initials for some reason
Yeah.
because I was like, didn't Annabelle and JP weren't they having a
They
thing?
actually did.
Even though Louise and JP were
Fiancés.
engaged in real life,
Yeah.
which I I dated a guy named JP, John Paul, in
Oh,
college.
that's
I don't know if you guys
funny.
remember this.
No.
no, I don't.
And so I kept imagining him.
Yeah.
And it was
sorry.
so funny. Well, no, it was funny because it ended because he got mad at me because he thought I was just using him for his parking spot, which I kind of did.
Oh my
when I lived
gosh.
at Campus Way. Anyways.
Sorry, John Paul, if you're
Yeah.
ever listening.
Yeah.
to this.
I am always just thinking of John Paul Jones.
That's what I think too.
in The
Who's that?
Bachelor.
He was in Bachelor. Hannah's
Oh.
season?
I didn't watch Hannah's season. I did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
a great
like
one. Honestly the best.
Anyways.
But
I wanted to talk about both of the twists. I
Yes, yes, do it.
preferred Barbara's story and her twist with like her being sent away like on purpose and like whatever to what actually happened to Bear and like finding out that
I
storyline.
am gonna disagree.
Yeah,
I liked Bears better.
I just was like,
It's really sad.
Yeah.
I was like, I figured he would probably be dead,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, that's not that exciting.
Yeah.
I figured his family was involved.
Yeah.
And they were. And so I
Mhm.
just wished it was something like that, like surprised me.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like I was, I guess, kind of like more surprised that it was his
is
mom.
Alice's fault. That's what really got me. I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah,
for sure
same.
it was his dad or grandpa somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that they were the ones who had killed him, but the fact that it was his mom who loved him so
Right.
much and
But
was
like, she had no idea.
heartbroken.
She still doesn't know.
I know.
Right.
They
See,
literally
that-
gaslighted her
that
into thinking
twist
she didn't kill him.
surprised me more than Barbara's. The
Same.
Barbara one was underwhelming for me.
Same. I kind of.
I guess liked it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she was doing. Because it felt
Yeah.
like, oh,
Totally.
yeah, Bear's actually been dead this whole time. You just read this whole book thinking, who knows what happened, and he
Yeah.
was just a pile of bones in the cave.
Yeah, which was sad.
So sad.
I
Also,
know.
What are the odds that Jacob saw that happen?
No, literally.
It's in the same cave, like in the corner
Yeah.
when he's not seen. I'm like,
I know. No, literally,
Yeah.
I was like, because it's, goes through the situation where he like shows Judy where, his
Yeah.
body is and they find the body. And then after, like in a chapter or two, whatever, they're listening to the phone call and he's like, I know where he's buried, but I didn't kill him or whatever. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, hold on. And then I was like, oh, it was the grandpa. And then they were like, but it wasn't someone in the family. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like
I
putting
mean-
all these things together. Well, and then for a second there, I thought TJ was guilty of something.
Well, yeah.
I mean, she
The
was, but like,
She was guilty of knowing, but she didn't. I mean, she was at the time 12.
I know.
Yeah.
But I thought she was
Sad.
like, when she was like, oh, my dad's staying at his brother's. And then Judy was like, his brother's dead or whatever. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
TJ, you know what's
I mean,
what's
Jacob
going
had
on?
to serve a purpose, though.
Yeah.
He had to see
I
something.
liked his character.
Wait,
He was creepy and weird, and I liked it.
Terrified me. He absolutely terrified me. I pictured him in my head as a mixture between the guy from Split and then Marion from Psych. Like just
from
weird.
Psych?
Marion. The one who's like
He was
super weird.
he
In all
was
the Yin
scary.
Yang episodes.
Oh,
He wasn't the evil one, but
Mary.
he's just weird. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Mary. Yes.
Oh, I was like, who's Marion? Yeah. That's a good description.
But let's talk
Good
about
mix.
how TJ literally saw it happen. Oh,
that's so true.
Sad, and that's why she was like shook. She was like,
Ugh.
so very sad.
a lot of
Really
trauma, a lot of
I
therapy
know.
needed.
Did you guys have any theories when you were reading it about before it was revealed what happened to Bear? Like, did you guys have any?
Well, for a second, when it was the first POV of Jacob, I was like, shoot, this is him.
Yeah.
I was like, this is him. He's been living in the woods and he started killing people. And then they were like, and everyone thinks that he was the one who killed Bear. And I was like, okay, well, clearly the age, they know his age. And so he can,
Impossible.
have been an 8-year-old killing an 8-year-old, like that doesn't work.
Or
And
an
so-
8-year-old killing all these women?
no, all these grown women. Yeah, so I was like, okay, so scratch that. But that was when the very first chapter when
Yeah.
he was introduced.
Yeah.
Before we knew anything about him, I thought that that's who it was. And then I was like, oh my gosh. Honestly, I thought for a lot of the time that he was like in the woods somewhere or like someone took him. Like I didn't think that he actually died until we got further into the book.
I thought that TJ was Bear because all of
Wait.
a sudden TJ cuts their hair, like it's something more boyish. Her and Barbara are seen together hanging out every night, and I was like, that would actually be, and they're like only 4 years
Stop.
apart. I was like, that would be way cool if like Barbara's sneaking in and hanging out with her brother, and like that's what's going on, and like TJ loves
not
them
the
or can't because
transgender
whatever.
Why do I
twist.
wish that would have
No,
happened?
that's partly why when I thought of that, I was like, oh my gosh, wait, that would be crazy if that's what
Yeah.
happened. And then when he was just dead, and I was like, oh,
You're like, great.
so
cool.
TJ is a girl.
And this isn't going to spoil anything for anyone, but the transgender twist is a plot twist of a very popular TV series. And I'm not going to allude to anyone. I don't know if either of you have watched
I
it.
don't know.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Do
You've
I?
watched it?
Oh.
Okay, I didn't know if you had finished it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to say anything. But that
Am
was
I
crazy
crazy?
to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, oh, oh.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to say anything. But
Yeah, but that's different.
how?
Wait, are we talking about the?
Pretty Little Liars.
Oh! I thought you were talking about Bridgerton. I was like,
What?
Because we're talking about the newest season. She's not transgender, but they changed the gender. That's
Oh,
what I.
oh,
that's what I thought.
no,
and I was
no,
like,
no,
that
no, no.
doesn't.
I was,
We are not spoiling that show for anyone.
I was like, wait, Bridgerton? I was like, there's a transgender.
yeah, me too.
It's very new. It's very new for the time.
That's funny. Those are good
But
theories.
that's why I was like, oh, this is gonna be crazy. I was so excited, and then I was like, oh, it's just
that would have been crazy. Yeah, if I had thought of that and
would've
then
been a
realized the
better
actual
one.
ending, I was gonna say
that's
that would
why
have been
I
a
honestly
letdown
think-
for
that's why
sure.
Also, when I read thrillers, part of the time I try to figure it out. Part of the time I'm like, I don't know if I want to because I could be disappointed by
Yeah.
the twist.
That's kind of how I feel like usually I try to figure out theories or figure out everything, and I feel like for this book I was just letting it all happen, which
Yeah.
doesn't really happen often. But
I'm
also
opposite.
enjoyed that we didn't get the ending really until the very, very end.
Literally the end.
literal
The very, very end.
95%,
And
into
it
the book.
wasn't even like we were honing in on anyone until the very, very end.
I will
Yeah.
say I kind of enjoyed also like epilogue dragged out at the end once you know the
Yeah.
reveal.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, like
Done.
because that's the
Swim
purpose
back.
of like a
Done.
thriller or mystery. Like,
Yep.
once you get to it, it's like, okay,
I-
wrap it nicely, quickly, and
Yep,
we're done.
I
Yeah,
did like that.
totally.
It showed like Judy going to the cabin or whatever,
Yeah.
and then just seeing. And I loved that Judy was like,
She,
"Do you want
like,
me to?"
leave you
And she's like,
alone?
"Do you
No.
want me to leave you?" Or what did she say?
She
like,
was.
Do you
yeah,
need help, or do you want me to leave you alone?
or are
She
you
said,
okay or something? Yeah.
Yeah, she said
I
something. And
think
Barbara
She
it was,
said,
"Do
"Are
you
you
want-"
okay? Yes. Are you okay? Yes. Do you
Oh,
want
yeah.
me to leave you alone?
Yes.
Yes.
Swim back.
And then swim back. Like,
Yeah.
that to me was just and the fact also freaking Love Woman. She was like, I know all of my men coworkers
Oh,
would
want the
not
fame.
have. Yeah,
Yeah.
they would have marched in there and like taken her
Broke the
because
door
they would
down.
have yes,
Totally.
they would have
We're
gotten a
the
promotion out of that.
savior. Yeah.
Yes. And she was like, you know what, like I've learned that respecting people's wishes is more important than like my own agenda.
And I think with that too, like Judy, as she was like investing in his family, like obviously saw that they had many issues. I mean, take a look at what they did for their son.
Yeah.
Like, they tried to blame someone else and cover up how they assisted in his like, you know, disposal
So
of the
sad.
body. Anyways, and so she was like, "I'm not gonna go send Barbara back to these people.
Yeah.
Like, she knows how to live out here. She's safe. TJ knows where she is. Like,
Yeah.
let her do her thing." I like
Also crazy that she's just on her own there.
I know. I was thinking about
Like,
that after
your
I read it, and I was
situation
like,
has to be so bad.
yeah.
Wait,
at
living
home?
Is
in
she
a
not with
cabin.
TJ?
No,
TJ's not there yet because people don't know that TJ knows where she
yeah,
is.
and well, and
Only
TJ was
Judy
like,
knows.
I'll come visit you
Oh.
when I
In, like,
can.
3
It'll be
months.
a couple of
Oh,
months.
you're
so
right.
people don't get it. But
Ooh.
like
That is
and,
sad.
and like TJ obviously can't just drop everything and like live there. I mean, maybe
Right.
she does
She could
eventually, but
I hope
at least
so.
at first.
as brother and sister, what could have been.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. Also, okay, sorry, that just reminded me too. I, not gonna lie, was shook when they did the DNA analysis or whatever and like figured out that it actually was Bear's body. I for a second thought for sure that like Sluter had killed another little kid and was
Just
like
hid it
lying.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Was like, this is Bear.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot that.
It helped that
that
it
happened.
wasn't his thing. Unfortunately, his thing was women.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
So he was like, "It wasn't me. This is a young boy." Like, and I just saw it happen. Which
Crazy.
but yeah.
So freaky. I never want to go in the woods. What if there's a man living there like Sluter?
No, literally. I'm like, Nick and I have been planning to go camping, do a little bike packing trip, and now I'm like, no, thank you. Like, I'm actually scared. So,
We're going up to a cabin next
3.5.
weekend.
all of us.
Guys. Spooky.
That is spooky, but we'll be
Be walking
surrounded
around
by.
with our hands.
Stop!
Dragging our
That's
feet.
not
That's how
even
we're gonna walk into Macy and Nick's room in the middle of the night on our hands.
Oh my gosh.
That's actually
Scary
would be
Mary and
terrifying.
Sluter are coming to find you.
Also
Also,
scared.
cute Marianne, like literally
Yeah.
looking through the mountains for years to try to find something to like
Just to-
clear her
Husband's
her
name.
dead
name.
husband's name.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, so sad how he died.
I know.
Wait, how did he
Heart
die?
attack.
Just heart attack.
Oh,
But like right after he got arrested,
Yeah.
oh,
like a couple
Wrongfully.
days after Bear went missing.
that's so
Yeah.
sad.
I know.
I liked also random the like the little thing that his daughter was working. It was the cook that was like feeding
Oh,
Barbara
yeah,
I
and looking at their
know.
house.
No
I was
one
like,
knew.
I'm like, give us the tea, girl.
Yeah,
No,
like,
literally.
literally. Which they didn't know that it was her. So
Yeah.
that was cool.
Okay, we didn't really talk about the family a ton. Bear's like his
Oh,
dad
yeah,
and his
let's,
grandpa.
let's talk about them.
The
All these
scumbags.
Peters.
Yeah, they're-
Peter the 4th, 5th, 7th.
Oh, I was
And, like,
so bored. I was
second-
like, Peter.
Freaking little, what's her name?
Delphine.
Delphine. Like literally hooking up or like getting her sister to marry the guy that she's
Yeah.
hooking up with.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
So
she
they can
reveals that they
manipulate her.
had actually been hooking up when they introduced
Yes.
Yeah.
when they met each other.
Yes,
I'm
no,
like,
girl.
girl.
Like that was like the purpose is so like,
Like,
you
you're
could have a
horrible.
wife that like they could manipulate because she's just this like
Ew.
18-year-old who doesn't know any better.
So sad.
Like, oh, absolutely, just so sad. Yeah, poor Alice. Even though she, killed her son accidentally
because she had just found out that her husband was cheating with her sister.
I know, like I really feel for her and I feel really bad. Her life honestly sounds miserable.
How do you feel for her?
Just
Eden really relates to her. She totally understands what she's going through.
Eden was so confused. No. Just like, I feel
Eden, I'm
bad for
kidding.
her.
I
And
know,
I
I know.
was-
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm over here like, guys.
He's like, I feel just like her.
Her life.
Jake's in the back. Let's go. Let's get him. No.
Get his
but-
other ankle. I'm joking.
Oh
Poor
gosh.
guy.
It is. This always happens though. My rating always goes up after we talk about a book. Like I'm gonna keep it at 3 stars, but I'm like, no, I did appreciate that book more. It's probably 3.75 now for me.
It's one of
Would you look at
the
that?
it's one of the like better thrillers that I've read in a long time. Or murder mystery. I don't know
Yeah.
what you would call it, but
I think the story was like elaborate enough
Yeah.
but not like, okay, this is stupid.
Yeah. Maybe it's just because the last couple of thrillers
There's
I've read
some
have been
thrillers that
stupid.
I've read. I'm not going to say which ones, but when they introduce like a paranormal element to it, I don't know if you guys have ever read one.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it was a ghost this whole time. Or I also hate the main character whose point of view you've been reading in
Is
she's
dead.
dead.
Yep.
This person's been dead the whole time. Like, ugh. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you which book, but I read the one where like the whole mystery was just like some element of it was like haunted by a ghost. And I was like,
Oh.
Not fun.
No.
Yeah.
Not satisfying.
that's why I was like, please don't be like a ghost god in the woods. That would
Yeah.
upset me a little bit.
Honestly, I also think, and I agree, I think my rating might have been higher if I hadn't just been so freaking deluded with all of these Frida McFadden books I've been reading, because heaven knows she has the craziest unrealistic plot twists in a lot of her books. So I like what you were going on with your theory of like the transgender.
Yes.
That's where my mind, I didn't have any theories, but I was like, oh, it's gonna be crazy, like
That's
it's something
what I
I
thought
can't
too.
even think of. So then that's why it was underwhelming, where I was like, oh, Bear's dead, like, and they're just, it was Barbara and TJ
Barbara's
going
actually just
to-
hiding.
yeah.
Like,
Like, I was like, okay, what? But anyways, overall really good book. I'm really glad we chose it. Thanks for the
I
suggestion.
know. I liked it a lot. It was fun.
It was fun.
The favorite thing was definitely like the setting and the vibes from the book.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Would you guys recommend it to people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I for sure would.
Especially because you get like 2 mysteries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is
No,
fun.
you really do.
And you're like, how do they connect? And they're not entirely connect, but like they relate obviously. So it's like fun
Yeah.
to.
Well, I don't know if we talked about this explicitly, but there's like multiple timelines, not even just the 2, when they go missing, but there's like 1975, 1961 when Barrett goes missing, and then there's
With
even before
Victor.
that in the
Before then,
50s
when they start.
Yeah.
when they like Alice
Are
and
courting.
Peter are like dating whatever.
Yeah. Oh, back to that. Sorry, but I told you I was sus of Delphine.
Yes, you did.
Oh, really?
Literally,
Yes.
I was like, what? No, she seems
I
way
totally
cool. She
forgot about
seems
that.
totally
Good
normal.
job. Your spidey
Well,
senses.
that's not fair. That was like probably like almost halfway into the book. So.
No, but still, I was like, no, she's awesome, and like, poor her husband died. Although
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I also did think that she had something to do with Barbara's disappearance, even though she wasn't really around that much. Like, I just because she was like so, like, I guess forward thinking in that time, I was like, I bet she was like gonna rescue Barbara from her family. LOL, she was not the forward type of thinker that I thought she was.
She was forward in let's make my sister do what I want so I can sleep with her husband.
Not good. Not good.
Not good.
Yeah.
I mean, also kind of going back to if we'd recommend this, it wouldn't be my first thriller recommendation to non-readers. Like, I would say like, you should, just because it's like pretty long, like unless they're listening, if they're reading, it is long, and you have to be able to appreciate like character development and the ambiance. I think a little like I feel like you have to be slightly not like, oh, I'm back in the reading game after years.
I typically prefer my thrillers to be within the 300
I
pages.
was just gonna say that. I wish it was okay. I don't wish it was shorter, because the way that it played out was really satisfying and I enjoyed all of that. But typically, I like thrillers to be a little on the shorter side.
Well, I feel like they dove into like they didn't have to dive so much into like Tracy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like what was like, there was a lot of POV at first with her, and it was like she wasn't
Totally.
relevant to the plot or the mystery. She was just one of the characters. So it's like you could have taken that out entirely.
It was like solely for character development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like her point of view, and like seeing that's the only point of view really that we got of Barbara, other than from her family members who I didn't trust any of them. But yes, I totally get what you're saying. Totally agree.
Also, just I'm not dyslexic, but my dyslexia of like if names start with the same letter, I get confused. So like TJ.
This.
Oh really?
This is one of your
TJ.
book icks. I'm pretty sure, wasn't it? Or am I crazy?
Yeah. No, I think I have mentioned at
Similar
some point
names, maybe?
of like similar names or names that start with the same thing. I also felt like there was a lot of last names with like the letter L or like McClellan, LaRoche, Lowell. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of L's and T's for me.
Oh,
that's really specific.
Sorry,
but.
you know what that just reminded me of? Who we haven't talked about yet?
Who?
The kitchen boy.
Lee.
Oh, Lee.
Wait,
he's not a boy.
The one that
he's a
I mean,
man,
he's a
right?
He's like 20, 22,
See,
23.
I thought he was like 50.
No.
Because the one that
the one
Louis,
was
he
accused
pulls
of
up to
statutory
Louise's
rape.
house.
Yeah.
And they,
Yeah, no, they have like a little thing going on.
well, I mean, they sleep together.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and
That threw me
that's
for a
who
loop.
John Paul thought Louise was cheating on him. That whole scene.
Oh, yeah. Well, she was.
Well, yeah, but like
Well, not
not yet. I don't
really.
think she
Yeah,
had
no,
yet.
nothing happened until the end
Oh.
between them two, technically.
In
Even
my
though,
head, she was
they were
like
flirty.
flirty.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that's
flirty.
true. Okay,
Yeah,
We're
But, like,
But
what's
John
our
Paul did
definition?
way worse.
John
so
Paul,
I don't
yeah.
even care.
No, that's true.
But yeah, no, we like never even talked about how he, for a second there, I thought he had done something to like help Barbara escape. I didn't think that he was like
Yeah, I
guilty of
thought-
anything, but I thought
yeah.
he maybe helped her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought he knew something.
Yeah.
He was just being blamed.
I know, poor
And
guy.
then him and Annabelle being like, it was Louise because she has no resources and she's poor and she can't do anything to defend herself. I'm
Literally.
like, get out
So
of here.
rude.
So terrible.
Yeah, him and Isabel Annabelle, not Isabel,
Annabelle.
just blamed her. I was like, okay.
Literally insane.
Cool.
Freaking rude. She held your hair while you were thrown up.
I know. She was
Literally.
covering for you, girl. I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Like, shut up.
But you know what? She got the freaking justice she deserves because she used to
comeuppance.
marry.
True.
She used to marry
Yikes.
John Paul or whatever.
Jones. Just kidding.
John Paul. Is it McClellan? Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yay.
Good reads. That was great.
No, I enjoyed it a lot.
I did too.
Same.
Good spooky season book.
Yes.
But what's our next book?
should we do a drum roll?
Yeah. Who's announcing it? I
Our
can't.
October book club book is.
Nope, not October.
No, I
No.
lied. Wait, drum roll again. Our November book club book is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig.
Woo! Okay, this
Really
has
excited.
been on my TBR for maybe 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I have been wanting to read it for so long, but I always just there are other like fantasy series that I want to read, and I end up
And
reading
for
it before
some
then.
reason, this one, I was like, because I got it. I have the physical book. I bought it over a year ago, and I was like, I'm going to read it in the fall time. And then when I didn't read it last fall, I was like, it's not feeling the vibes. And so now, this was the book I said was from the podcast episode we did on fall TBR. This is the one that I said I wanted
You were
to
gonna
read.
read? Oh, yay.
So thank you guys for letting me, forcing me to read it so I could pick it.
Do you want to read the synopsis or not synopsis? Is that what it's called? The intro, whatever.
Yeah, the description.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I have it.
The name is throwing me off.
Elspeth.
It's like Elizabeth, but with
Elspeth.
Oh,
That's how I was
God.
going to say it. And if I'm
Elspeth.
wrong, I'm very sorry. Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient spirit trapped in her head. He protects her. He keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a drastic turn. Thrust into a world of shadow and deception, she joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder from a dark magic infecting it. And the highwayman? He just so happens to be the king's nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and guilty of high treason. Together they must gather 12 Providence cards, the keys to the cure. But as the stakes heighten and their undeniable attraction intensifies, Elspeth is forced to face her darkest secret yet. The nightmare is slowly taking over her mind, and she might not be able to stop.
Oh my gosh, I'm both confused and excited.
Okay,
but
but same because I have heard nothing but absolutely amazing things about this. It's a duology, which is so nice. There's only 2 books,
yay.
but
A digestible 2-book series.
that description, not at all what I was picturing.
what the heck is a Providence card? I'm excited to find out.
I know. I'm like really intrigued because
Yeah.
everything that I've heard is like there's a disease and they have to get these cards to like cure it.
I've heard the magic
That's
system is
pretty much all I've
cool,
heard.
and I've heard
Yeah.
the gothic vibes.
Yes.
are great.
I'm
That's
really
what I
excited
like
for that.
For fall
so
time.
November.
It is.
It's not really
100%.
October, but it's November.
I love it.
So
I'm so excited.
Yay.
It's gonna be so good. I can't. And we'll give our little 3 pages in. I want to read more of it this week.
Well,
I mean, you can
You
just
can
write your
write down-
impressions.
write
I'm
down
gonna
impressions.
do that. I'm gonna do that.
we're
That's
such
very
problem
smart.
solvers.
I
over here.
know. Me, I'm like no. I'm so excited.
Is this a book to read or listen to?
I will be reading it just because I own it.
I will also be reading it because I find that I normally enjoy books overall, more if I've read it.
Same. Okay, I'm gonna read
And
it.
I'm giving it my all, this one.
Yay!
Maybe I'll try and read it fast so you can borrow it.
That's really nice. Thank
'Cause
you.
they're not that long, right?
No. Well, we could literally check. Well, actually, it is 390 pages.
Yep, that's more like
on the
it.
longer side.
It's short. It's almost 100 pages shorter than the book we just read.
Yeah,
Of
it
which
is
I
100
felt
pages.
like was a long book.
So
I don't
this
know.
one will
In my
be
head, the
medium.
average is like 350 pages.
So it's only 40 more than that. That's not bad.
That's why I said it's a little longer than normal. Maybe I think I don't
Me
know
in
if
the
I
middle
said
of
that.
two 700-page books. I'm
Oh,
like,
gosh, it's been a while. That's last time I read a book that long was like Aragon.
That's funny.
love
Anyways, we're
No.
really excited you joined us for that book club. We're excited to read One Dark Window.
Mm-hmm.
Hear your thoughts.
Yep.
It'll be good.
Let us know your thoughts on God of the Woods if you read it.
Yeah.
Let us know on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, or you can comment on the podcast episode as well if you're
Mhm.
listening. So
awesome.
And with that,
See you next episode.
Bye.